Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the 1995 documentary Unzipped, directed by Keeve. So I'm not especially a fan of Charlie XCX, but I did come across a clip where she was speaking very highly of this documentary, so I thought I'd give it a try. I found it a compelling documentary, not just for its subject matter, fashion, but its subject, the fashion designer Isaac Mizrahi. He comes across as a genuinely likeable and emotionally open presence. There's a real sense of authenticity in the way he speaks and behaves on screen. He doesn't hide his insecurities, and even when he loses his temper or becomes self-absorbed, it never feels off-putting. Instead, it feels human, vulnerable, forgivable, and oddly endearing. I had the feeling that he wasn't posturing at all for the camera, that his focus was on trying to make something beautiful under pressure. This is clearly a portrait of a true creative at work. Mizrahi doesn't seem to be following trends or pandering to the industry. He's working from instinct, from a place of personal inspiration, dreams, childhood memories, old movies, flashes of imagination. At one point we see him watching Nanook of the North, one of the earliest documentary films ever made. That alone is telling. He's not studying fashion shows, he's immersing himself in atmospheric human stories. And it's not a one-off. Throughout the film we see him referring to old film clips, describing scenes, styles, characters with a kind of giddy reverence. These moments are among the most powerful in the documentary, not because they're dramatic, but because they reveal the depth and sincerity of his creative process. He doesn't just design, he dreams. The decision to shoot much of the film in black and white is initially jarring, particularly given that fashion is such a visual medium where colour and texture matter so much. It felt counterintuitive. And yet there is a strange kind of logic to it. The monochrome palette shifts the focus away from fabric and spectacle and toward Mizrahi himself, his thoughts, his anxiety, his drive. It also sets up one of the film's most spectacular moments, when the final runway show erupts into vivid colour. It's genuinely striking. It's as if we've stepped out of the mind and into the world. In terms of historical value, the film is also a rich time capsule. It captures a particular moment in New York fashion when the idea of the supermodel was at its peak. Naomi Campbell, Kate Moss, Linda Evangelista, they all appear, often with little introduction or ceremony, and the effect is mesmerising. There's a casualness to their presence that reminds you how effortlessly iconic that era was. One of the things I love most is what others might see as a flaw, the technical roughness. The edits are really choppy, some clips are just seconds long, the sound is uneven, and the structure often feels spontaneous. But that for me is part of its power. It doesn't feel like a polished PR piece or a commercial product. It feels like we're watching unedited clips, like the camera has just been turned on and off at random moments, capturing flashes of energy, humour, doubt and joy. That rawness gives it integrity, I think. It's a film about the creative process, and the film itself reflects that same sense of process. It's not neat, but for me it really works. I do recommend this documentary. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.